The names of potential choices for a Trump cabinet are already starting to surface.
Sources telling the Washington Post the list of potential nominees includes some of the people who actually were back in the day on Trump's short list to be his running mate. And also on top of that, a lot of folks on the list who are extremely loyal Trump allies in Congress.
Deputy Political Director Joe St. George joining us now from D.C. Joe, give us the list. Who is Trump considering for his cabinet?
Well, good morning, guys. I think one of the biggest stories in the world right now is who's Trump going to surround himself with in his second term, which will commence on January 20th. Typically, in the course of November and December in presidential transition periods, that's when we get key advisors named, key staffers named. We'll see cabinet names floated and announced. And then they do that so that come January 20th, it's not like they're starting then. They're starting now. In many ways, they started months ago. A separate effort from the campaign has been underway for months of this transition effort, what a victory would look like. Vice President-elect J.D. Vance has been part of that. The Trump children a part of that. Executives like Linda McMahon, for wrestling fans out there, part of it as well. The key difference this time around, we're told, is this is a team that has experience. They know where the mistakes were made 8 years ago with that transition. Loyalty certainly has a premium this go around to President-elect Donald Trump. As far as some of the names being floated, Attorney General is going to be a big post in the Trump administration, given all of the criticism that Trump has directed at the Department of Justice. This is an individual who was indicted, after all, by the feds over the course of the last several years. Senator Mike Lee of Utah's name has come up. Senator Eric Schmidt of Missouri has also come up. We've heard other names of even some state attorney generals have been floated as well, those vocal critics of the Biden administration. Secretary of State, the individual who will be tasked with traveling around the world and proclaiming the foreign policy of Donald J. Trump, President-elect Trump. That'll be a big post. Senator Marco Rubio's name has been floated. Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee's name has been floated. You may recall Rubio's name was on that final list of potential VPs for Donald Trump over the summer. Keep an eye, as we said earlier in this hour, on Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Where does he land? Is it a formal cabinet position? Is it a senior advisor role? Elon Musk isn't expected to have a formal cabinet post, but he's floated his name on podcasts, on social media, to Trump himself, of having some role on a commission to reduce the size of the federal government. Vivek Ramaswamy may find a home in the Trump administration as well, or Mr. Ramaswamy may go back to where he's from in Ohio and run for governor on the political future of Vivek Ramaswamy. So all eyes on this story now, guys, between now and January 20th on who Donald Trump, President-elect Trump, surrounds himself with as his second term begins on January 20th.
And not just the who, the what. Once that cabinet is up, what does it mean for Gaza? What's it mean for Ukraine? What's it mean for taxes? Are we rounding up immigrants? The real pressing issues that people talk about in the living room, other than the chess game of who sits in what chair. Fascinating.
And Rob, I think it's worth reminding our folks, I think everyone is exhausted from the 2024 news cycle. But when you start looking at the power that Trump now has with the Republican Senate, it looks like a Republican House. I suspect the news cycle in 2025 will be even busier and more wild than 2024.
I'll start brewing the vats of coffee now.
I'll take the first cup.
There you go.
Deputy Political Director Joe St. George, thank you.